The 49ers have a playoff game on Sunday in Philadelphia, but their offseason has started because Robert Saleh is already generating interviews. What to think and make of this season, and what to expect on Sunday afternoon in Philadelphia and the path to a 49ers victory. Steph Sanchez and I will talk about all that and more right after this. I'm Jason Aponte. That's Steph Sanchez. This is the Bully Ball Podcast, the only San Francisco 49ers podcast that is still on track to go to the Bad Bunny concert. Steph, how's it going? I couldn't resist.
It's good. I hope we can get there, Jay. I really hope so. If not,
What, me and you?
yeah, to a Bad Bunny concert. Like,
Well, I mean, no, to the Bad Bunny concert. I mean, apparently there's a football game supposed to be played,
no,
but
I know
I'm not.
you're talking about the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I'm not necessarily worried about
The
the game
Bad Bunny
itself.
concert.
Yeah, there's a
I will
football
be there.
game going to be played at the Bad Bunny concert, and I might have to pull my Boricua card, to get us in there, Steph. But I'm working on it, man. I'm going through the proper channels. I'm going to talk to Benito. We're going to get it done. But yeah, the San Francisco 49ers unfortunately missed out on the number one seed, which would have let them stay at home, to get ready for the concert. But, it is what it is. I guess before we start about all that, fantasy football is over. So really this weekend was really weird. It was just hate watching. And I feel like that's not part of all of the fun, right? Like this season's really over. I can't believe it. Week 18 and there was nothing but parlays to lose, but sleeper's not done and you can still play in the playoffs. So the NFL season's here, which means you have a chance to win 1,000 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Not, this time. Well, you can. You could pick more or less. Pick stats like touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 1,000 times payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you could win big. And for a limited time only, new users will get a free $20 entry. And don't forget, if you use our promo code GSP, you'll get up to $100 match on your first deposit. Terms and conditions apply. See Sleeper's terms of use for details. Currently operational in 25 states. Check out Sleeper today. Steph, we wake up today and Robert Saleh has been requested for an interview. Nobody should be shocked. Even if it is the Arizona Cardinals, nobody should be shocked. You see names like Jason Garrett. You see names of people that you're like, what on earth is going on? People are just going to start interviewing. It's January 6th. It's January 6th. So you have to, do something, right, to get started. People's seasons are over. The 49ers season's not over. They don't have to worry about things like this because they're keeping their head coach. But, I don't look at this as any more that like Robert Saleh is going to take the interview. Like, I want to interview with Rihanna, but that doesn't mean that she's going to take the interview or accept the position. It kind of feels like the same thing with the Arizona Cardinals. Like, why would Robert Saleh want to go there? They're literally the West Coast Jets.
Yeah, and I think this is the first of many interview requests that Robert Saleh is going to get, right? There's a lot of head coaching vacancies on much better teams, I think, than the Arizona Cardinals. Baltimore is by far, I think, the best one for any candidate. And, I'm sure Robert Saleh might get a call for that one too. He would certainly, I would think, fit, just kind of the culture that they have out there. But there's going to be other candidates in that mix as well, as you could imagine. So, I do think though that the writing is on the wall. It's been on the wall for Robert Saleh to get interest as a head coach. I mean, even before he signed on to rejoin the 49ers, he was getting courted by the Jags, right? And he was a finalist for that job. So
that's why him and Liam Cohen got smoked.
Exactly. It wasn't going to take much for Robert Saleh to get interest. And, I was actually kind of just surprised, we come in here, see a couple of comments saying like, why would anyone be interested in Robert Saleh? His defense has been awful. Let Arizona have him. You guys are chirping. Like, I
want him to go with Walter Nolan and Will Johnson? Like, that's what you want?
Oh, that's crazy. I think Robert Saleh is as far as what we have, who's available out there, Robert Saleh is like probably the best defensive coordinator that we can have. And I want him here a long, long time. But I simply don't think that's going to happen. But I just think it's crazy how people have like turned on Robert Saleh suddenly when he has Garrett Wallow and Curtis Robinson out there as linebackers, and you're saying his defense sucks. I'm like, well, this team's still 12-4. I mean, you have to do something. You have to do enough, I think, on defense to be able to do that. And so, for what Robert Saleh has done this season, despite everything that he's working with, I'd say he's pretty good. And the interview request that he's going to get, in addition to this Arizona Cardinals one, is just going to be a testament to that.
Hold on to that thought about flipping on things, because I've got a
Hmm.
larger thought.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
it's not, you're, a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say, but we'll save that for a little bit. That is called building the suspense. That is called segueing into something else. Speaking of linebackers, Kaiser White joins the practice squad. 49er fans, I just want to let you know, I doubt that you're going to see him on the field. Eric Kendricks is up first. You were talking about Curtis Robinson. He's up next. If Gifford plays, he's ahead of him. Kaiser White's going to be in the building for all of a few days. You cannot expect him to go out there on Sunday. But it is depth. And in a pinch, if he has to get out there, it's somebody who has played in the NFL, does have a little bit of experience in a Gus Bradley system. But I wouldn't suspect that they're just going to start Kaiser White. That would be un-49ers like. And it would be completely against the grain with guys that have been there. A guy who shows up 4 days is not going to be on the field, and that doesn't matter what position. And if you think that I'm tripping, then why is it that Nick Martin could never see the field when he was there the entire time? Now you're telling me that somebody who's going to walk in the building 4 days is going to start. I wouldn't expect much of Kaiser White stuff.
Well, Jay, I think it's because we have so little faith in in Curtis Robinson and in Garrett.
I mean, I
What the
don't have
hell
faith in
knows
them either, but
Wallow?
they're gonna play. Like, what do you like? Like, the thing is
Yeah.
who has the grasp on the, like, it doesn't matter what we want. I want a lot of things. Like I said, I want to interview Rihanna and Sydney Sweeney. That doesn't mean they're gonna take the. I want many things. Whatever I want doesn't matter. It's what the status quo and how this team operates, and you have to take your feelings and whatever you want out of it. Just get ready to see these guys on the field.
Sorry, I did say 12-4 earlier. 12-5. Sorry,
Close
after
enough.
Saturday,
I mean, if we
after
pretended that game
Saturday's
didn't
game.
happen,
So,
then you know.
which I want to. I truly would like to. But yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I guess there's been other points in the season where they've brought guys on in 1 week, and you hope that they'll play, and they don't. Right? Probably for that same reason.
Jordan
Probably
Watkins,
just
baby, he's gonna get on the field too.
hoping that they advance through this week, going up against the Eagles, and then you can think about having Kaiser White out there. But it was similar with Kendricks, right? Before he got hurt, like I don't think he would have played either that first week that he signed. So it's going to be a mess. Like I'm expecting it to be a disaster on Sunday for the linebackers, Jay. Like truly.
Not me.
I hope D Winters could play at the very least.
Yeah,
We
I
know
mean,
Becton's not going to be there, but
if he does, I still look. This is all going to tie into what I want to talk about. I still have very good news for 49ers fans. I just want to let you know. I don't care what doom and gloom you're on. I don't care what you're feeling on Tuesday. I am not on that, and that's probably the overarching thought. But I'm not as worried about that, man. I just really am not. And there's reasons that I'll have, and I'll get to that. But it is what it is, man. This is the hand that you're dealt. And I'm tired of people like crying about something that has been evident for a while. Like, Curtis Robinson's the last man standing. What do you want him to do? Yeah, he's not good. He's a fourth linebacker. Yeah, this guy's not good. That's stepping in. We didn't even know who he was. Like, that's just what they're down to. Like, I eat, breathe, sleep this team. I have no idea who Garrett Wallow was when he went on the
thank you,
field.
because I didn't either, and I was just
Yeah, and don't lie. And I love people. Oh, he's a special teamer. Shut up. You had no idea either. And this is where we are. Like I'm tired of people like, you're down to your sixth linebacker. Man, this guy sucks. Really? Imagine that. I don't get it, man. No. Not only is Kaiser White going to start, guys, Jordan Watkins and Jacob Cowing are going to hit the field right away. Don't worry, guys. The 49ers need speed, and these guys are going to get on the... Like, what are you on? When you're watching this team and how they operate, when has that ever happened? When has that ever happened? It's not going to happen now. And just because you wanted to doesn't mean, that it will. Anyway, Kaiser White, Robert Saleh, Jim Harbaugh. Jim Harbaugh is out as Baltimore coach. And, watching that game on Sunday, it felt like the loser had to be fired. Seriously. Because you have two coaches that are well respected, have the same amount of tenure, but are living off the same Barack Obama Super Bowls. No, seriously. Seriously. Mike Tomlin hasn't won a playoff game since Barack Obama was in office. John Harbaugh won a Super Bowl because his brother choked. So now This idea that these guys can't be fired, it had to happen. And there were plenty of things that Harbaugh did wrong in that game on Sunday night. On Sunday night, I'm not blaming it on Obama. He just was the president. Let's not do that. He was the president when these two gentlemen won a playoff game last and won a Super Bowl last. But because they won a Super Bowl when the president from 3 presidents down, 4 presidents down, they're unfireable? No, this had to happen. And he's done things that made them lose that game. Sticking with that right guard who's getting absolutely mauled all game is bad. You have a chance with 2 timeouts and Derrick Henry to move closer, and you just choose to take the time and just use the kick. These are mistakes. And when you underachieve with the 2-time MVP, and if you're going to start blaming Lamar, we're going to have a different football conversation. You have to go. So it's time. And that's it. And what's funny is it makes Baltimore the number 1 desirable position, and it makes Harbaugh the number 1 coach. Like if the New York Giants don't put on a full court press for Harbaugh, give him whatever he wants, anything, then they're an unserious organization, which I still fear that they are. But it was time. And the loser of that game had to go. One of them. And I'm just tired of you telling me that Mike Tomlin has so many winning seasons in a row. You would take Kyle Shanahan and put him on a train out of town if they went 9-8 every year. You would not be happy with that. You're not happy with him now, many of you. So yeah, that's my little spiel. It had to happen. But John Harbaugh's gonna get a job real quick. And the New York Giants have to be all over that, man.
Yeah, I'm sure they will be as other teams. Like going back to like how this ties into the 49ers and Robert Saleh, obviously we know that Ravens' job is going to be peak for any candidate.
And they want to get back to defense.
Yeah, as they should. Like that's been their culture, right? But do we feel like Saleh is going to be a top, candidate for them? Like what other candidates would be
would they want an offensive-minded? Would they want an offensive-minded coach to help Lamar Jackson progress?
Right. So that's my question. I'm sure he's going to be in the mix. I'm sure at some point they'll request an interview, right? It makes sense for both sides. But will he end up, being a finalist? I mean, honestly, if he did, like I'd be stoked for him. Like that would be an awesome job for him to take. I think at this point, where he's at in his career after like everything that happened with the Jets, I just want him to go somewhere that if he does leave the 49ers, it's a better organization, point blank period. And an organization that would give him the opportunity, to
succeed.
Be good. Yeah.
Baltimore would be that. But if you notice, the same teams are always looking for a head coach. The Browns, the Jets, the Giants.
That's a sign,
the Raiders.
Right? That's a sign.
If I'm Robert Saleh, I want to be a head coach, but how bad?
Exactly.
How bad?
That's what I'm saying.
Harbaugh he can do the funniest thing in the world, which is take that Browns job and try to turn them around. That would be the funniest thing in the world. But yeah, like that's the thing is you have to start looking around and seeing what these teams might desire. Like if you're the Ravens, I think at this point, I want to get an offensive head coach in here. Remember, John Harbaugh's a special teams coach. Right? Very good head coach, by the way. I'm not saying Harbaugh's a bad head coach. It was just time. And Ravens fans will tell you, Steelers fans will tell you that it's stale. It's time. Andy Reid made how many NFC championships? You got to go. Doug Peterson won a Super Bowl. You got to go. Right? Like it's time. And he's still going to land on his feet. But yeah, it is a spot that Robert Saleh would be, if they really want to go defense. And I know they want to fix that defense, but I do think that they probably go with an offensive head coach and bring back Wink Martindale and just call it a day and get back to defense because that Ravens defense was part of the reason that they lost that game. But all right. Saturday's game. Really easy to flush it, I think. And it was really easy to flush, I think, right after as well, too. That's just one of those tip your cap to Seattle games. That's it. No shame in saying that. Tip your cap. When I knew something was wrong with that game? It was the first 4th down attempt by Seattle. And Seattle's at the bottom of the league in 4th downs. And that right there, I remember I was sitting next to my dad and I looked at him and I said, wow, That's no respect for the 49ers offense, and Seattle's defense knows that they got it. And what they said is, hey, if we don't get it here, you'll just punt it back to us and we'll go right back down. Sure enough, Zach Charbonnet, 26 yards, gone by himself. Seattle just whipped the 49ers. So you flush it. Nothing you can do about it. But here's where I'm going to start this. Steph, going into the week, 49er fans are making plans to stay in Santa Clara. When we win the number 1 seed, Sam Darnold's going to turn into a pumpkin. Big bully. You know, Purdy's playing so well. The offense is playing so well. Blah, blah, blah. Now, the San Francisco 49ers season's over. They have no shot against the Philadelphia Eagles. Here's where I'm going to start this. If you're scared, go to church. If you think the 49ers have no shot on Sunday, don't watch the game. If you're that confident in the Eagles, put all your money up on the Eagles then. This flip-flopping week to week, I knew the NFL was a week-to-week league. This flip-flopping between the San Francisco 49ers fans, and it's not all of you, fan how you want to fan, feel how you want to feel. It's annoying, it's disgusting, and it's the reason that we get labeled and we're lumped in as 40 whiner fans. There's nothing wrong with saying, tip your cap, good job, Seattle. Now you have a game on Sunday. And now, the Eagles, it's over. Don't even play the game, Steph. Don't kick it off. Don't go to the stadium. Just let them move on. I don't understand how week to week that changes you. Seattle had the best defense, the second best defense in football, in my opinion. Houston has the number 1 defense. By the way, the 49ers are going into their 9th game against a top 10 EPA defensive team. They are 4-4 through those games, with a chance to be 5-4. If you're scared, go to church. If the game is over, don't watch it. For heaven's sake, stop crying. For heaven's sake, stop telling other 49ers fans who are hopeful and think that this team can beat the 49ers, can beat the Eagles like I think they can too as well. Stop telling them it's over. Don't watch the game. Please. It's annoying. And I don't like being lumped in with you guys. This is why people call us the whiners. Look, you lost the game that you wanted to have. Cool. I was upset too. But I understand and contextualize that just wasn't your day and they were better than you. But this complete idea that game means that this game is over, and because nothing can ever happen that's different, no team has ever been upset in the playoffs. No team has ever won a playoff game against the number 1 seed without scoring an offensive touchdown in frigid weather in Green Bay. Don't lump me in with you. You're not you. I mean, you're you and I'm me, but I'm not you. If you're scared, go to church. And stop crying. That's it, Steph. That's all I got.
For a fan base that calls themselves the faithful, I mean, a lot of fans lack it. And, you know, I think we've seen this 5 times this season because it happens
after every loss.
After every loss. Because, like, you know what, Jay? I've been victim to it too a few times. A lot of those have been around Fred Warner going down, Nick Bosa going down, and thinking like, okay, yeah, like it's we're probably done. But you know, the team's ability to kind of still galvanize and, you know, kind of rally even with those things. I mean, it did give me some belief that, you know, they can make anything happen. They won 12 games this season. We did not think that was going to happen even with Fred Warner and Nick Bosa. If you asked us at the beginning of the season, like, that's super optimistic. Now, we would have really liked the number 1 seed. That would have been really great. It was there for them to take. They didn't do it. Okay, like, let's move on. You're still in the playoffs. You still have something to play for, which is still the Super Bowl. That has not changed.
No, they don't, Steph. They don't even play the game. Why?
I get it though. I get that seeing this defense and the linebacker situation right now doesn't inspire a lot of confidence because I don't feel great about it either. And seeing the effort as well, especially in terms of the tackling on Saturday was
Ah.
atrocious. Even before the injuries took place, it was atrocious.
Well, shout out to Upton Stout and Demo.
Ugh, God. If the if the first guy that's there could just get the tackle, this defense would have looked way
Oh,
better.
you're talking about 3rd and 19.
3rd and 17.
Whatever.
Well, no, it's
I
not even
all.
just that one. It's not even just that one. I could point out a few examples where there's a guy like right there who could have made the tackle. They get an arm tackle or just like
Mhm.
this half-ass, angle. Like it was just bad. Like the first guy, I don't remember how many times I saw the first guy like there and not make the tackle. Like you just can't have that. So if even just that could be better on Sunday, even if the 49ers offense could score some more points than 3, which I have to imagine that they could, Jay, because 3
I
points
believe
was
they
the
will.
lowest point total that they've had since Kyle Shanahan has been head coach of the 49ers. Then I think they have a chance, guys. Like,
Yeah.
come on.
Yeah. Just look. Let it play out. Watch the game. You don't have to be delusional. Let me get there too as well. You don't have to be delusional. You can look at this game, X's and O's, matchups, styles make fights. All of these things are what we do on a weekly basis. And that's how we get to where we get to and we show how the path to victory is, right? But that doesn't mean that it gets executed. You can, in your heart, be afraid of this game. I think many are. I think the smart ones are. You can be afraid of what the Philadelphia Eagles may be able to do on offense. I'm not one of them because I've got good reasons. But just this whole like, it's over, whatever, and then making fun of fans who are still optimistic, who are still excited to watch this game, who still believe the 49ers have a chance. Stop it. Stop it. Don't let me in with you. Don't let me in with you, and don't let me catch you celebrating on Sunday if the 49ers do the impossible like you say they can't. Because nobody will jump up in front of the camera or nobody will jump out in front of those tweets and say, man, I was completely wrong about this game. They'll make excuses about why the Eagles gave it away. Because people want to be right and not get it right. And this is your prime example of it. I'm going to put out a bunch of tweets and I'm going to say a bunch of things on social media that say the 49ers have no chance. That way, if they lose, I can say, I told you. So you'd rather be, I told you so, than actually objectively looked at this. So here's why I'm optimistic, Steph. Here's why I'm optimistic. Yes, the Eagles defense is better than the 49ers offense. I believe that. Especially if Ricky Pearsall does not play in this game, things are about to get very, very hairy. Okay? That is something that I think that was the first sign before the 4th down on Saturday that had me nervous because he's the only one who can shake up on man coverage. And once Seattle knows no one's going to beat them deep and Demarcus Robinson's in front of them, and that's it. It's game over. You play fast, play free, you have nothing to worry about over your head. By the way, that week 18 defense was not the week 1 defense that you saw. There's another reason that I was kind of warning against like, oh, we beat them in week 1. That 49ers offense wasn't that, that 49ers offense in week 18, obviously rolling into it, that offense was looking better. But that defense, that's why we were kind of happy that you get that Seattle game out of the way in week 1. Because when they figure out that Nick Emmanwori can play the Kyle Hamilton role, when Rick Woolen gets his head out of his ass and actually can start playing, and when Mike McDonald figures out how to scheme all this up, you're finding a much more refined Seattle team. So Seattle won. Okay. Philadelphia's defense has Vic Fangio, and they have a similar approach where they can get home against this offensive line with 4 because they have a ferocious defensive line. And they're fast enough on the back end to play free if you don't have guys saying that, hey, we don't have anybody to worry about deep downfield. This game plan offensively has to look a lot more like this Cleveland game plan, in which it's get the ball out fast, do not turn the football over. Brock, live to play another down and make sure you're throwing that football away, and then hope your defense plays it close to the vest. And here's why I think the 49ers defense can play it close to the vest. I'm going to go through some of these numbers for the Eagles on offense. And I want you to tell me why it is that everyone all of a sudden believes that this team is going to wake up and do the right thing in certain games. Ready? Okay. 17 points against the New York Giants on October 9th. 10 points against the Green Bay Packers on November 10th. 21 points against the Dallas Cowboys on November 23rd. 15 points against the Chicago Bears that the San Francisco 49ers put up 40 and couldn't be stopped on. 13 points against the Buffalo Bills, in which the only reason they won that game was because Josh Allen missed the easiest throw of his career. I want to remind you of something else. The Buffalo Bills, you think the 49ers run defense is bad, Steph? The Buffalo Bills have the 31st ranked run defense in the NFL. Saquon Barkley didn't even get to 70 yards in that game. Jalen Hurts, for the second time in the 2025 season, threw for 0 passing yards in a whole half. Am I bullish on the 49ers defense, or am I happy that the Eagles offense plays something that I'm labeling prevent offense? They don't stick with anything that works. They do not execute. That offense is in shambles. If you believe that this Eagles offense is going to wake up and Jalen Hurts is going to be a pure progression passer and all of a sudden be accurate with the football, and they're just going to give the football 37 times to Saquon Barkley, and when have they done that? Which game this season? We've been waiting for Saquon Barkley to break out. Jalen Hurts is not a quarterback. He is a football player masquerading as a quarterback. The tush push isn't even working. But now, I need to be worried about the big bad, super bad Eagles offense. I'm not. Because they'll score points. But if you think the Eagles are going to go up and down the field on this 49ers defense, you haven't been watching the Eagles not 1 minute this year. Not 1 minute. They're not good on offense. 13 points against the Buffalo Bills. That defense can't stop a nosebleed. Jalen Hurts had 0 passing yards. Twice. Now this offense is a juggernaut? Stop it. This game's going to be way closer to the vest. Who's going to make plays? Who's going to make a play on special teams? Which offense is going to execute? Which offense is going to execute on third down? Which offense is going to execute in the red zone? I do not suspect that the 49ers go out there and put up 3 points. But this Eagles offense is the least of my worries at this point, even if the 49ers defense is bad. I'm sorry, Steph. You got it again.
I'm like debating if I should say this out loud. Because like I actually didn't think the defense played as bad as what watching it live felt like.
For our audio listeners, the graphic on the bottom, why Steph thinks everything Jay just said was BS.
No. I'm saying like I think the 49ers defense, given what the Eagles offense is, they could stop them. Because the Eagles offense is, for much of the season, has stopped themselves. And as long as the 49ers defense can do enough and avoid a few key mistakes, like a 3rd and 17, like just stuff like that. Like if they could get out of their own way as well. The 49ers defense did make some stops in that game, like in some moments, right? Like they did. They held them to field goals when it felt like the Seahawks were marching down the field. I feel like that's somewhat of a win, right? And I'll say this. Yes, the defense is disappointing, but I do think what they did was enough as well, because I think 13 points is not some insurmountable number. Like, and
Shout
the
out to
offense,
Jason Myers.
I mean, it's a game of 3 phases, and the offense as well. Like their 2 biggest opportunities were the 2 drives, the one drive where they had the field goal, and then the one drive where the ball ended up getting intercepted, coming off of McCaffrey's hands. Those were your 2 shots. You might be talking about a completely different game, like if the 49ers actually score there. No, I get it. They didn't. That's why we're talking about this being a loss. But I'm just saying that, like, I get what you were saying earlier, that this the Seattle game wasn't panic worthy. Like I understand if there's some doubts that creep in, but I don't think it's quite drastic enough to just completely give up on this game. Like that's your overarching point, right, Jay? That like
Yeah.
this is still a game the 49ers
And
could win, even with the linebacker situation being what it is, because Philly's just hasn't been that good either. And I know the 49ers or people like are categorizing this 49ers team as not that good. Which teams are that good? There are only
who is
two.
good?
Like it's literally just the Rams and Seattle that are like I would
Are
say
they
are
good?
balanced. I think they're balanced. They're two balanced teams. Like out of all the NFC teams, yeah, I think those are the two teams at the top. Everyone else is you could say is bad at something and bad
Yeah,
if you want
yeah.
to say that they're good too.
And Seattle's offense is better than Philly's. What they did
Yeah.
was they went into this game and they ran the football over and over. When have the Eagles done that? Ever? They haven't scored 40 points one time this season. They put up 12 points on the 13 points on the Buffalo Bills. They put up 15 points against the Chicago Bears. Brock Purdy was dancing in the end zone on them. What are we talking about? Now all of a sudden they're just going to figure it out and be smart? And it's a product of the quarterback. That offense is completely broken. Sure, they're going to move the ball. They're too talented not to. And the 49ers defense, I don't think is good enough to stop them. It's down after down after down. But this idea that they're gonna run roughshod, this ain't that Eagles team from 2 years ago that Saquon was just, a year ago that Saquon was just carrying them. Notice how when Saquon doesn't have 2,000 yards and a decent play caller, things don't look different. But shout out to Hakeem the Dream. Thank you for the $10 donation. Kyle Shanahan is Andy Reid when he was in Philly. Shanahan can win with a mediocre to good quarterback, but won't. He needs a great quarterback. Go get Joe Burrow, Purdy, and 2 first-round picks for Burrow. Probably doubt that the Cincinnati Bengals do that. One, because I think that's not enough, and two, they're not a very smart organization. But um, like just getting back to this is the thing is you're looking at this and you're saying Saquon Barkley is a really good running back. But the Eagles' offense hasn't been good, and they haven't been featuring them. And their offensive line is nowhere near as good. Now, Lane Johnson has a chance to play in this game. That's not good. That is not good because he's very good. That definitely will help them. N'Kobe Dean's not playing in this game for the Eagles. That's something you need to pay attention to. If Ricky Pearsall doesn't play in this game, I don't feel good. If Trent Williams doesn't play in this game, I don't feel good. Right? I don't feel good about this because you can see similar points in that game in Seattle where the offensive line is being pushed back, pushed back, pushed back with 4 coming to the quarterback with 4. So that's what you can possibly see again. But the Eagles offense is not where my concern lies. Is if the Eagles defense is that much better than the 49ers offense and you see a performance similar to what you saw on Saturday, I'm fairly certain the 49ers will score more than 3 points in this game. But I'm saying if everything looks hard, if everything looks like Purdy's running for his life, that's where I get more nervous than I do this idea that the Eagles offense is going to flip the switch and just all of a sudden figure out that, hey, maybe we should give the ball to Saquon Barkley, or hey, maybe we should stop asking Jalen Hurts to do pure progressions because he can't do it, or hey, maybe we should run this offense through somebody else because when they started trying to get the ball to A.J. Brown, the offense suffered even more, even when he was complaining. So there's a lot of things wrong with the Eagles offense. The 49ers defense just has to do what they've been doing, which is make enough plays here and there. But this is going to boil down to the 49ers offense. It's 49ers offense against the Eagles defense. And I'm much more worried about that than I am the 49ers defense against the Eagles offense.
And honestly, I'll say this too. I didn't think Brock Purdy played badly in this game. Like I think for what Seattle was doing from the pass rushing standpoint, I still feel like, Brock was pretty poised, keeping his eyes upfield, trying to get the ball out. I understand there was a couple times where, he looked to escape the pocket and, got brought down for a sack. Do you expect that, we see that this week with the Eagles, or do you think Brock's going to be able to, get those balls out like a little bit better this week?
Has to be like Cleveland. That's the game that I'm looking at. It has to be like Cleveland. But the only thing with that Cleveland formula and you're watching that game was Cleveland was browsing at a whole huge level because they were turning the football over on special teams and giving advantageous field position, right? Like, you have to kind of hope those are the things that happen. Your special teams has to create a big play, whether it's a return or get something. Like that Seattle game, the fumble's right there for you to gross models to flip that game, like to flip that game right back, right? And that's the type of stuff that you need if you don't capitalize on those things, right? And then the one drive the 49ers have that is moving uh, ends like that. That's when you're really just like, this isn't your night. And it's
Yeah.
not me taking credit away from Seattle. I believe that you generate your luck by being in the right place and playing hard all the time. It started with somebody tipping the football. It started with somebody being very sticky on McCaffrey. That's it. So for me, I have a harder time like being upset about the Seattle game because they were just outclassed on Saturday. But now this game, I feel like there's far more of a closer advantage, even if you're so down on the 49ers defense, to facing that Eagles offense because I've seen them play down against bad defenses. There's no way that the Eagles offense should be scoring 15 points against the Bears when everybody's running it up
Yeah,
on them.
that's actually, yeah, that's
There's
insane.
no reason for you to score 13 points and have Saquon Barkley under 70 yards against the 31st ranked run defense. I don't know what they see out there. I don't know what they're thinking. I don't know when they're like, hey, you know what? They're really bad at stopping the run. Let's try to have Jalen Hurts throw the football a lot. Like, I don't understand, right? And Jalen Hurts twice this season has had games in second halves where he hasn't thrown for a single passing yard. This offense is not the thing that worries me. I think the defense can hang with them because the offense is very lackluster. What scares me is if this Eagles defense can get the advantage against this 49ers offense to the point that everything looks like it's hard and it's a struggle. That's when this game is going to feel icky because you're not going to hold the Eagles offense as bad as they are and as much as I've made fun of them to 0 points.
Well, Nakobe Dean going to be out for this
That
game as
helps.
well, which yeah does help. Um, would be nice to have Ricky Pearsall back. I'd love to see like Cooper DeJean and Ricky Pearsall
Bunch of white
one
guys
on
running
one,
at each other.
exciting whites.
Exciting whites.
But Jay, like, okay, I have a question for you because you know you feel good about this game, right? And you say you have
I feel
reasons.
good
You've
about every
brought up,
game. I'm just tired of
but
everybody
like
crying.
but you bring up certain things. Like, are you as confident in the 49ers winning this game as you were in the week 4 or was it week 5 when we played the Rams, the first Rams game? Because you were
Mm-hmm.
very like convicted
Yeah.
in like thinking that the 49ers would come away with that win. Do you
Mm-hmm.
feel similarly with this matchup given what you know?
I don't. And here's why. Because I was going off of historical precedent, which was the Rams have never beaten the 49ers off of a loss
Mm.
during the
I feel like
time
you had
that
more than that though. I
No,
felt
I
like
had
there was
more than that, but I had the game plan down, which was going to be get the ball out quickly and everything. And for whatever reason, the Rams defense said, "Yeah, it's fine. We're just going to run to deep zones even though we have nobody who can beat us out there. We'll let you get the 7-8 yard stuff." Which ended up, being to their detriment because one, the 49ers were able to hog the football, keep drives going, and put the ball in the box. Also, by the way, what we're losing the plot of in that Rams game, two big defensive plays. Alfred
Mhm.
Collins with the
Yes.
with the
Yeah.
punch out and the fourth down stop. So you do need the defense to do something. Like everyone gives Mac Jones the credit, which they should. 33 for 39. He operated the offense, but you don't win that game without the defensive stops. So it goes both ways. You need defensive stops. You need plays, right? But
Yeah.
in that game, I was going off historical precedent and I was understanding that felt like, and you know what? Maybe it is similar in this way. That Rams game felt like everyone was just counting out the 49ers. They have no shot. They just got their ass whipped by the Jacksonville Jaguars. Everybody's going to be, out for this game and every. Why does that feel like that right now? The line's moving. The 49ers are 4.5 point underdogs in Philly. It seems like the 49ers have to play in a game where everyone's telling them they can't win.
Mhm.
Maybe that's what it is more than anything. But that's what I was pointing to. And I just feel like those Rams 49ers games, aside from the one that they, got boat raced in Levi Stadiums, they're always close. They were always that was the first time that the Niners got blown out by the Rams. And it just was wrong place, wrong time. The Rams were hot. The 49ers defense was bad. It just wrong place, wrong time. Like you sometimes run into teams at the wrong time. So I'm just like, I feel like, again, backs against the wall, team against the world, nobody giving them a shot, but you're losing the plot of the Eagles' offense is something that is still their Achilles heel, and if they're like not putting up many points, and if you crack the door for this 49ers team, again, best in the league in late game success rate, still best in red zone even if they only scored 3 points, like there's still a shot. Like this idea that the 49ers have no shot against the Eagles is laughable. I think they have way more of a shot in this one than they did, against Seattle, even if we did predict a win. But Seattle, is just they were the better team rolling into this one, right? Like, and this one, the Eagles are just kind of like moseying in because the East is shit, and they're just like, yeah, we're here. Like I'm just tired of everybody saying that nobody has a shot in this game. I mean, that they don't have a shot in this game. And I'm just tired of everybody swearing that the Eagles' offense is some juggernaut when they don't even put up points against defenses of the 49ers ilk. The 49ers walk the Bears down every single time. And you can't even score. You scored 15 points against the Chicago Bears in this economy? What? That's what I'm supposed to be worried about? Put up 15 against the 49ers this week. See what happens. See what happens. See if you're not getting bounced out. So I've got too many bad performances on offense rather than good performances on offense. And even if it is a
Yeah.
good performance, it's never like, oh man, Jalen Hurts was blowing them away. I feel like, yeah, one really good game that I was impressed with was against the Minnesota Vikings. I felt like that was his best game as a passer. Funny enough, against the Minnesota Vikings, who Brian Flores is an absolute football sicko. Um, but yeah, I'm not as worried. Like, again, the real part of this game that it's going to come down to is the 49ers offense against the Eagles defense. That
Yeah.
it cannot go the way that you saw it go on Saturday, and it cannot be the advantage or disadvantage that it was. It cannot be that, because no matter how bad the Eagles offense is, that is going to be what decides this game. So, Kyle, Brock, Kittle, all of you guys, you gotta do more. There's no reason that Kittle should have 4 catches and like 9 yards, right? And that's because everybody's up and they know when he gets the ball, go get him, right? You don't have anybody who can beat that, right? So Pearsall not being there doesn't help, right? Like, I'm
Yeah.
far more worried about the 49ers offense in this one against the Eagles defense, and I think that's going to be the difference in this game, Steph.
Yeah, that's the key matchup. And even going back to last week's game, just for the final time, I felt like the key matchup was going to be what the 49ers defense, if they were going to be able to make Sam Darnold uncomfortable, because I think there's ways you could have done that,
They did
right?
all right.
And they did. But I felt like Sam Darnold did a better job actually of just actually being poised in that game, getting the ball out. He had outlets and was taking them, and
Seattle's offense
so
is better too.
that's just one example, right? So that's how things can go when an X factor matchup doesn't go your way. So we're talking this week about 49ers offense against this Philly defense. That's going to be the X factor matchup this week, how the 49ers going to perform. Well, we do feel good that they'll score more than 3 points. Question is that going to be enough? Well, we do know the Philly offense doesn't score a lot of points. So maybe it is. Maybe it will be enough, right? So there's a chance. Everyone's like throwing in the chat. So you're saying there's a chance? There's
Well,
a
I mean,
chance.
look, you didn't tune into this podcast so you could hear me and Steph cry and throw our hands up and say it's over. Now, you don't have to feel great about this game. You don't have to be delusional. But I will absolutely not tolerate quitting, telling other 49er fans not to be optimistic, saying that this game is over, saying that they have no chance. They have a far better chance in this one than they did against Seattle. Far better. Seattle's a far better football team than the Philadelphia Eagles are. Far better. Not even close. Maybe this is my disdain for Jalen Hurts as a quarterback. Maybe this is my disdain for Eagles fans talking about this team and being
For
so loud and
Dom.
boisterous. Maybe this is
For
my
Big Dom.
disdain for the fact that I felt that Nick Sirianni is one of the most overrated coaches in the NFL. Maybe it's my disdain for Big Dom. All of these things could be true. And I'm not telling you to not be worried. Hell, it's the playoffs. You should be worried about every single game, no matter who you play. You should be worried. One or two moments can send you home. I don't blame you. But this whole it's over, now here we go, the Eagles and the 15 points against the Bears, dog. 13 points against the Bills. Couldn't run the football. Lost to the New York Giants. Got absolutely whipped by the New York Giants. Stop telling me that this game is over and there's no chance, man. Stop. All right, let's see. We got do we got some donations that we want to get to, Rob? Great Fox, unpopular opinion. I want Saleh to get a head coaching job so we can hire Jim Schwartz.
Hmm.
Not bad. Not bad.
Well,
Uh
you
J-
remember the 49ers have Gus Bradley, and people were like, "Oh, they
that's I
hired
think
Gus
who
Bradley
yeah.
so he could take
Unless
over when Robert
unless
Saleh."
Saleh takes him with him, but yeah, I think that was like the whole idea of the plan is like, hey, we'll leave this guy for this guy. That's still not a bad idea. But Jim Schwartz and Kyle Shanahan together would be two sickos together. That I would really like that. And we don't have to worry about, hey, do you got to face Cleveland and Jim Schwartz anymore because he's on the team. Shout out to my guy Perk. Just wanted to show some love. Let's ride. Thank you for the $10 donation. Hell yeah, let's ride. I mean, look, man, you can't sit there and complain as a football fan and a 49ers fan that the season ends so early. Oh man, what are we gonna do? Now the season's over. So don't watch the game on Sunday then. If you're scared, go to church. I'm gonna keep saying it. Boxing fan X4. Thank you for the game. Thank you for the donation. A good game plan would be throwing the Sky Moore, Tonjes, and Jordan Watkins using B Rob putting CMC in the slot. Jordan Watkins might not be a real person. Like, like have we confirmed that Jordan Watkins is a person?
Well, I
Or
know
is
Jake
he just
Cowan's not.
uh, look, in the same way that I was telling you Kaiser White's not gonna play. I would highly doubt in a playoff game that Kyle Shanahan's going to take anyone off the field for those guys. And I saw the Jake Tonjes thing as well too.
Yeah, actually, like I was a little surprised Tundras didn't get a little more run
But who do
last
you
week.
take off the field, Steph?
One of the wide receivers.
Which one?
I don't know. Just
Look,
pick one.
look.
Pick one.
If Tonjes and Kittle are on the field together, it is a telltale sign of a pass. Because if you try to run the football to Jake Tonjes' side, he can't block. Tonjes is a replacement for the receiving tight end, much like Ross Dwelley. Everyone said, I want Ross Dwelley and this guy on the field. If you're going to see two tight ends, it's going to be Luke Farrell and Kittle, and that's it. Like, again,
Ooh.
what we want, the things we imagine do not matter in Kyle's mind. Kyle
No,
does not,
yeah. He
Kyle does
doesn't
not
care
care.
about any of our desires ever.
Kyle does not care. And the thing is a telltale sign of what's going on if you see Jake Tonjes and Kittle on the field. Everyone
I
can
don't
look.
care. I don't care if it's a
Yeah,
telltale sign.
but all right. Can we have an honest
Cheers, man.
discussion then? Can we have an honest discussion then? Is Jake Tonjes this incredible weapon that now, if you see Tonjes on the field, now the defense is like, oh shit, man, what do we do? Who do we cover? Get over there. Who's doing this? You just put one guy on him, you put another guy on him, and when you have a very good defense, you put one of your guys on him. It's not that big of a game changer, guys.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, because he's this guy that the defense doesn't care about. He's a guy like you don't really, pay attention to when the ball gets snapped. That's why when Kittle's out, like you don't make a big deal, or defenses don't make a big deal about him on the field because it's like, okay, that's not Kittle. Why would
Yeah,
I
but
care?
all right. But in that way, right? Schematically, when he's on the field, Tonjes is on the field, Pearsall's on the field, Jawan Jennings is on the field, right? Like he still has free reign to operate. You're taking one of these guys off the field. Let's say you're taking off Demarcus Robinson. Okay, are you worried about Jawan
Fine.
Jennings getting past you? And are you worried about Jawan
Take
Jennings
one
getting
off. I
past
don't
you?
care.
It's just everybody's gonna just play down. Like it's not slander. It's smart defenses, and defenses that are talented are just going to wipe that out. This idea that like that's Gronk and Aaron Hernandez.
Nobody's saying that. First of all, Jay, like we just want to see a little diversity, and I think Tunjas has earned a little extra looks alongside Kittle, especially in the red zone. Like I think that's where I'd be most interested in the red zone.
And what gets me hot is that y'all are thinking that I've been trying to get this off on Tonjes, but I'm just trying to tell you why schematically this doesn't work and why they don't do it. It's not that. It's not that. All right, you know what you do, guys? Take Kittle off the field and just put Tonjes out there. Go ahead. You guys got it. Go ahead, man. You guys got it.
You
Don't
lost the
worry.
plot. No one is saying that.
Well, I'm just one, I think it's more because I'm frustrated because you guys are yelling about something that you know is not going to happen. And two, I don't think that it's the big advantage that everyone swears it is because what if they did
Let's
something
see
even
it. Let's
dumber?
see it first. Let's
What
just
if
see
they
it.
did something even dumber and they took the fullback off the field for him?
Oh
Now
my
you really
God.
can't run the football. Now you really can't run the football while he's out there. Like this is guys, when you ask, put him on the field, ask who's coming off. And then you'll get your answer. And then ask yourself, will Kyle listen to me? And then you can just
Well,
look
we
at
know
a you
that
look
answer.
yeah, you look at a big NO. That's it. I'm just trying to help you guys. I'm not trying to slander Jake Tonjes. Just telling you why it don't work and why Kyle won't do it. That's all. Fine. Look, we got 10 minutes left, Steph. I want to talk about this season in itself. And about we were talking about the the way we should be looking at this season. And the Super Bowl or bust crowd, they don't like when I say things like I'm having a lot of fun with this season, right? And I'm going to remember this season because there's no reason for the 49ers to be in any of these positions based on who they've lost. I think it's kind of crazy to think that because the 49ers didn't get the number 1 seed and could possibly lose on Sunday even though I don't think they will, that the season's a failure. I just don't think that I've never gotten to that point, man. I'm watching a team win 12 games, and we're talking about linebackers like Curtis Robinson, and you want Kaiser White on the field, and you lost Michael Williams, and like we're begging for Yetur Gross Matos to be on the field, and like I think losing sight of the forest by staring at the trees and the whole idea. Like I have a question for the we didn't win the Super Bowl, it's a bad season. So you hate football for 30 something years then? Every season's
They
bad.
do, Jay. You can't tell. This fan base is like always pissed off.
So you mean to tell me that you've been watching the 49ers since 1995, some of you, and every single season was a failure? Every single season you hated it? That sounds miserable. That couldn't be me. Disappointing how it ends is one thing. But I don't understand this whole idea that if you don't win the Super Bowl, you hate that season. Sure, I can't listen to The Box by Roddy Ricch anymore. Sure.
That was a great season.
Oh my God, I was in Miami. All the 49 fans were just riding around playing the box. And now anywhere that I go, if I ever hear it coming from a car, if I'm at a party, um I see the helicopters. But that was an amazing season. I love the 2021 season. Watched the 49ers win a game in which they didn't score an offensive touchdown in Green Bay. I loved the 2022 season. Unfortunately, Brock Purdy gets hurt against Philadelphia. 2023 was perfect till it wasn't. So this idea that when the 49ers don't win the Super Bowl, it's the worst season or you hate it, then I feel bad because you've been hating football for 30 something years. And for me, I'm a person that's leaning into positivity. I could never watch something that I hate, or I could never watch something that pisses me off to that degree. I'm having a blast with this season. This is one of the most fascinating and fun seasons I've ever had to cover, and I'm going to keep saying it. I don't care how it ends.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, that's it.
Sometimes I don't know when you're done, Jay, because
Yeah, my
like
bad, my
you
bad.
just. But no, I agree with that. I mean, obviously, we here are somewhat like more on the optimistic side of fandom, and Leon Sandcastle's comment here, I think, is really true that most fans are probably happy with the season, but it's just that 1%, maybe 2%. Like those people are just always so loud and they talk all the time about how miserable they are and how, fire this person and that person and no, it's Super Bowl or bust. And I'm not happy if they don't win a Super Bowl. Look, ultimately, like that is the goal, but like we can enjoy the journey, right? Like we're
The friends we made along the way.
however, however it finishes, like we're gonna enjoy the journey. And this one has been a journey that has exceeded our expectations at multiple points this season, right? And I think that's something that, we should appreciate. There's been several seasons, like, man, the two that you mentioned really stick out to me as, some of my favorites. And, being able to do like content creation during that time as well, that was just peak, because I also feel like just the vibe with content creation then was really at
So
an
easy.
all-time.
Well, that's
But
when everybody became a content creator.
yeah, like we were just buzzing. It was really buzzing. So, it just felt good. And I think this season, I'll remember it as a good one, no matter how it ends. And in some ways it's like also forgettable, because you also know that, Fred, no Bosa, and that was tough. And it's hard to imagine a season without those guys being like super memorable. But look at look at what they did and what they've done so far. Like, they're in the playoffs, and they're still playing for something. So I think that says a lot. And the season's not over yet, right? They have this game on Sunday, and as we've been saying much of this show, they have a chance to win that one. So
No, they don't.
we're not even talking about the season as if it's already over, because we don't believe that.
No.
But yeah, good
One
reminder.
one quick exercise before we go. Season's over. I have a ballot to cast for PFWA, which is not the NFL MVP or the NFL AP, right? So those are the ones that everyone goes for the awards. You want to quickly give our award predictions now that we have 18 weeks of sample size?
Award for what?
Every award.
Oh, sure.
MVP,
Drake May.
Stafford.
Okay. Nice.
Coach of the year,
I don't think it's gonna go to
it's not
Kyle.
Kyle.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna go to Kyle Shanahan. Let me see some of the other.
I got Vrabel.
Yeah, I know Steichen was one of them, but like just the fact that they fell off, like
Yeah,
he's not gonna get
Vrabel.
that one. Mike McDonald's a close second. Yeah, I'd say Vrabel too.
Offensive player of the year,
Jonathan Taylor.
JSN.
Great. It's a great one.
Defensive player of the year, Myles Garrett.
Miles Garrett.
Yeah.
Has to be.
Rookie of the year,
Haven't been super tuned in, but maybe Nick Emanwari.
Tyler Shuck. Defensive rookie of the year, Emin Worry. That's the one I'd give him. Or Carson Schwarzenegger.
Oh yeah. That's a good one.
I think that's it, actually. But yeah, I think Tyler Shuck won the offensive rookie of the
Do you
year.
do you think
Oh, come back.
do you think he played enough games like to get that?
And he played well enough. I think he outplayed Jackson Dart in those times too. Remember, I cover the Saints now. I was very, very down on Tyler Shuck. He has been very, very good. Comeback player of the year, Christian McCaffrey.
Yes.
Not Phillip Rivers.
It's only Christian McCaffrey. It's like McCaffrey and nobody else.
Well, they were saying McCaffrey or Aiden Hutchinson. I saw somebody say Trevor Lawrence, and I'm like, coming back from just being trash, which he was really good this year, though. I will give him that.
But that doesn't count to me. Like, coming back
Why?
from being trash is.
Well, Sam Darnold won it from being
I know,
trash.
and that pissed me off.
Yeah.
That pissed me off.
So that's the thing. It's like, is it comeback player of the year, or is it comeback from being trash player of the year? Like Daniel Jones, right? Like, that's the part that, look, if you're going to quantify it that way, say, most adversity faced player of the year or comeback player of the year, right? So yeah, fun exercise. I'll probably cast my ballot for those guys, and we'll see how it goes. Some of them easier than others, but I think JSN did enough at the end of the year to win offensive player of the year, especially when you're just given the Seattle throws the ball the least in the NFL, and he still was like leading, everything. And
Yeah.
Rivers wins health insurance player of the year. Don't discount the fact that Phillip Rivers is a smart man and needed that health insurance again because he has all those kids.
like
So
15 of them. So
yeah, I mean, hey,
respect
look,
dad, pal.
listen. I know his wife was mad happy when he was like, "I'm going back to play." She was like, "Oh, thank God." Two things that man knows: calling out plays at the line and audibly, and fathering kids. All right, I think we did it. Steph, I didn't get to see you before New Year's. I can't say Happy New Year because it's January 6th. Haha. It's past the date. If you ask Larry David, and I agree
Yeah.
as well too. Don't January 6th. Don't Happy New Year me, please. Don't Happy New Year me in March. That's ridiculous. So yeah, but I did want to say, and it's because I said this to Rob because we did the last show, but another year of doing this show with you, you're the best. I'm so happy for everything that you've accomplished. The Nick Bosa thing with the schedule, that's incredible stuff. That's something that look, when we look back on this season, no matter how far it goes, you look back at the highlights, you look back at the things that you were able to accomplish, and you just kind of sit back and you marvel. You don't really have time to smell the flowers while they're happening, but it is always good to go back and look, and say, hey man, we hit this event, we hit this event. You had that massive thing happen with the 49ers reached out to you, like it's not wrong to, at the end of the season, while being disappointed, however it ends, to look back and say, you know what, man, we crushed it and we did our thing. And I'm always so happy to work with you, and you're the best. And I'm really, really happy that we get to continue this thing, man. And I hope we continue it for as long as we can.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, I mean, you're one of the few people in this show as well that make like content creation and doing potting like enjoyable. I think because
Sometimes.
there's a lot of insufferable people out there. So I'm just happy to. Oh, I wasn't talking about you,
Oh
Rob.
man, look
I wasn't talking about
at
you, Rob.
You know what we did? You know what we did wrong, Stuff? When we were talking about seasons that we love, we forgot to name in 2019 that winner Jimmy G, and we forgot to win that winner Jimmy G in 2021 as well too, just to get Rob to make that face back there. It's funny. I just finished doing a little laundry because actually today's one of the good days as far as health goes. So I was trying to use my energy, and Avery's mom asked and said, "Hey, Jimmy G doesn't play in the league anymore or anything like that, right?" I'm like, "What do you mean? He's the Rams' backup quarterback." She's like, "Oh God, he's so handsome." And I was like, "All right, man." See, that's like the highest compliment that they can like pay him and everything. It's just funny to me, and I just like how whenever we bring up Jimmy G or if we say anything nice about him and the time that he had here, it just bothers Rob so much. Like I have to be able to get him back for all the kicker updates when I
Yes,
hated doing
that's
that.
what we
So
need.
yeah, so
There needs
yeah,
to be a
I'm getting
sound
yeah.
bite for that.
Now I don't care, dude. Dude, you know what? Matter of fact, what was one positive from Saturday's game? Hit the button, Rob.
Kicker update.
Respect my kicker. Never a doubt, baby. Respect my kicker. If you're there and you're still down and you know that I have 3 points on the board, absolutely right, Kyle Shanahan. You go and you kick and you turn around and you get to the iPad. You don't even look because it's dead down the middle. Dinero Pinero.
Fire.
What a pickup, man. All
Love
right.
it.
That'll do it for this episode of Bully Ball on the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Make sure you guys like this video and subscribe to the hey, even this picture that's up on the screen, audio listeners, of Jimmy G down with the injury in Miami, open the door for Brock Purdy. So don't say he didn't do anything
Kind of
wrong.
iconic.
He didn't do anything right, man. He was trying, man. He was trying.
Kind of
That'll
iconic
do
of
it for
him
this
to
episode.
do that.
Right. That'll do it for this episode of Bully Ball on the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Make sure you like this video, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the Gold Standard Podcast Network wherever you get your audio podcasts. Make sure you follow Steph on Twitter at Steph49K. Subscribe to her YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitter at JasonAponte2103. And you can follow me on Twitter there as well and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Steph, another year. I am not putting the bags away. I am preparing to go on the road next week as well too.
Let's
Stop
go.
telling me this game is not winnable. If it's not winnable, make sure that you put all your rent money on the Eagles if you're that confident. Don't watch the game and don't celebrate after when it's done. For Jay, for Steph, we're out of here.
Peace.